Hi, LiberAnarchy here. You know, I wanted to go to bed, but Brett Keane made a video I feel like I have to respond to. The link is down here. Um, so I'm going to try and make this quick and not rambly. Okay, first of all, um, you're drawing a false dichotomy here, either religion or the state. Well, you do bring up anarchy as an option, but you just bring up the post-apocalyptic chaos version of anarchy as opposed to any number of other visions of anarchy. Now, I won't go into anarchism because when I did, I just started rambling on and on and on about all the possibilities of how things could be carried out in a stateless society, but that's a different topic. Now, you did not even, when you talked about church and state, well, religions and state, you didn't differentiate between the types of religions, and you didn't differentiate between the types of states. You didn't talk about dictatorships versus constitutional monarchies versus republics versus pure democracies versus theocracies. And with religion, I believe, I forget which atheist it was. It was one of the, quote, four horsemen, a very famous one, who talked about how an extremist Jain is no big deal, but an extremist Muslim is quite a big deal. Because extremist Muslims kill people, extremist Jains don't. So I really don't have a problem with a lot of religions like Jainism. I have a couple of friends who are Unitarian Universalists. Both of which I think, yeah, both of which are actually pagans. I'm really not worried about these two doing anything to anybody. In fact, I am considering going to a local Unitarian Universalist church in my town. And the reason I am seriously considering going and just trying it out is because I heard about a couple of atheists who went to a Unitarian Universalist church, and if they welcome atheists, then I can still use. I'm off topic. I can still use that as social networking, a place for good conversation, and I can learn about different ideas about why we're all here and how the universe works, and if I want to do charity work, I'm sure I can use that as an outlet, and so on and so forth. Without expecting to sit down, shut up, and be told what to believe, and just think what I'm told to think. That's just not part of my makeup. But, okay, back on topic. So you have this false dichotomy here. Now, whether you're talking about a state or a religion, the rulers are subject to the same state of nature. What do I mean by this? Okay. If you think, do I really want to go into Hobbes? Well, look, if you think that humanity, all humanity, in the state of nature, without any governments, we haven't agreed to any systems of law or anything. Although anarchy does not necessarily translate to no government, but that's a whole different story. Okay, but if you believe that humanity in the state of nature, if we don't have something over our heads to fear, if you believe that we are all just these really savage, brutal, literally dog-eat-dog kind of people, all of us, then what is to stop any of the rulers, be they religious or otherwise, from doing any of this? Who watches the watchers, essentially? I mean, it's a very tired old point, I know, but you seem to be missing it. If you are talking about religions being beneficial to society because they give people something to fear in order to make them behave, or if you were talking about governments being good for society because they give people something to fear and thus make them behave, you are talking about human beings making other human beings be afraid in order to behave. Well, the human beings on top aren't necessarily going to behave. In fact, they're almost guaranteed not to, because usually, you think you're misanthropic? Check this out. Usually, the people who have the stick-to-itiveness and the gall and the chutzpah to get to the top of any political system, religious or otherwise, are the people who really and honestly want that power to take advantage of, to use, dare I say it, to exploit other people. Those are the people who get in power. The worst of the worst. Even in democratic systems, even with representative governments, you get to choose between Joe. Yeah, let's pull out the Hitler card. Joe Hitler. So let's pull out the Stalin and the Hitler card at the same time. No, you end up in situations where you're choosing between Joe Scumbag and Jane soulless shithead. Okay, well, soulless maybe isn't a good word for this discussion, you know. But, you know, you end up choosing between Joe Scumbag and Jane Slimeball. And, oh, maybe you have this independent candidate or something, or a green or a libertarian and all this, but chances are they're not going to get the votes, and you have a bunch of people saying, well, a vote for this guy is really just giving a vote to Jane Slimeball, so go Scumbag. Yeah, that's representative government for you. Anyway, so what happens is, yeah, the worst of the worst rise to the top, and they're not interested in cohesion, they're not interested in functionality of society, and they are not interested in actually protecting people and keeping people safe. It's interesting that you use the example of a police officer. Very interesting. If the police are here to protect us, wouldn't we feel safe around them? Because they are our protectors. Even if we were breaking laws like speeding, we would just say, well, he's here to protect me, so I'll take my ticket now. I'll own up to what I did. But I know that I'm safe because he's here to protect me and all these other drivers. No, you don't feel safe. You feel afraid. Okay? These are people who, gosh, are they going to tase my 6-year-old? Because, you know, there have been stories of cops doing that. Yeah? Okay. And sure, there are alternatives to law enforcement, such as instead of using tax money that you really aren't choosing to pay, privately funded police forces. And, well, what if they have a monopoly? What do they have now? And you have to pay them now. And if some police area monopolizes things and just starts extorting money from people, well, that's when another police department says, I smell money. And they move in and they say, you know what? If you pay us, we will get these yahoos out of here. And then if they repeat the cycle, another police department will come in. You pay us, we'll get these yahoos out of here. So it really, in that situation, it actually behooves the police department to serve and protect the people rather than the politicians. Okay, I've gotten on a free market rant, which is off topic, but yeah, so Brett, dude, false dichotomies and the rulers, religious, government, whatever, are subject to the same state of nature. And frankly, if your idea of how to make people behave is to make them fear something, well, I gotta ask, when you go to the grocery store, are you associating with people politely because you're afraid of a cop over your shoulder, or because you're afraid of the cameras or whatever? Or are you associating with them politely and kindly, or maybe you're not kind, I don't know. You know, because you'll get what you want and you'll get what you need. If you punch the cashier, chances are you're not going to be able to buy your food, are you? And you'll say, oh, when you'll be taken to jail. Well, yeah, but let's say jails didn't exist. You know what? Something would happen to you. The store might say, we will absolutely never serve you ever again. You are blacklisted. You suck. No, never, never, never. And now you got to go across town for your groceries. So don't ever punch a cashier. No, not even in a stateless society. But you see my point. It's not like we have people looking over our shoulders, looking for cops. Oh gosh, I really want to punch you out and stab you in the gut and gouge your eyeballs out with my key, but there's a cop there, and so I did. God damn it, because I want to do this to everybody all the time. So is it fear that's making you behave, or is it that you have things that you want to get at, or that you value other people, such as your family members? Is it like, even take your family? Is it when you're associating with your family in your home, are you like, you know what? I really want to pick up this glass and break it over my daughter's head, but there's a cop standing behind. No, you don't want to behave like that. Most people don't. The people who do are sociopaths and psychopaths and do need to be, put away or watched in some capacity. And I contend that you don't necessarily need a state for that, and you don't necessarily need a religion for that. Although I think that there are gradients, so some states are going to be healthier than other states, and some religions are going to be healthier than other religions. So, so remember that there are gradients, there are differences, and we're all subject to the same state of nature. If you do believe in the whole Thomas Hobbes thing, okay? I think I've rambled quite enough. Completely disorganized ramble. Link down here in case I haven't already said it. And Jesus Christ, now I've... God damn it. I just did something stupid. Now, I never said that people weren't stupid, mind you. Alright, so remember, know thyself. And go to bed before 4 in the morning, unlike me.